is that the purpose of a system, because your leaders, the people you're working with, if they don't have a system, you're working with the wrong leaders. Then you have to find someone in your upline that have a system, because you need a system. Why do you need a system? For many, many reasons. But number one, it's duplicatable. It's easy to understand. It's easy to give away. It's easy to promote, and it's easy to understand our system, which is 4 parts. I will come to that later. And here are a couple of things. Purpose of a system is, of course, to show the opportunity, to show the business, and to have people repeat. We educate ourselves when we're taking part of the system, when we're walking through the system, and we're bringing people with us through the system. We educate ourselves, but also them, of course. But every time you take someone through the steps, you educate yourself as well. That's the most important thing. You can't keep what you don't give away. So you get motivated within a system because you can feel that it's order, and people can relax. They have something, it's going on, and they have people who have knowledge. That's motivation. That's give real motivation. But one of the most important thing is to find your key people. And you do that by sorting out the negative people. You don't want to have negative people around. They're complaining, and they're not showing up. They think this is a pyramid scheme where you put some money in and then you're just going to get some money out without doing anything. This is a business. And if you treat it like a business, it will behave like a business and will pay out like a business. And it's not an investment. You don't invest. You invest time. But this is a business where you build and you earn through what you're doing. So the purpose of a system is all those things and many more, of course, but most of those are the main. We have these 4 steps. The first look, that the business presentation, education, and event. 4 simple steps where, again, it's about finding key people. That's the most important thing, because from your key people, 80% of your volume will be produced. Yeah. That's how it works. We sign anyone up. We bring anyone to the table. Anyone can join, but it's just a fact that 80% of the volume will be produced by around 5 to 15% of the people. Why that is because people suffer from possibility blindness. People suffer from a core mindset of lack thinking. People suffer from they think free stuff is good. Free stuff is not good. There's no such thing. And if you believe in that, you're violating the laws. Anyway, so you're gonna find your key people, which you can see here on this picture. When you find your key people, your purpose is to train them and to bring them education, because they don't get it themselves. Some will get it, some won't. But you have to have a system to bring them the knowledge, the education they need. So what do key people do? Key people they set goals. So you can clearly use this to understand, am I working with key people? Am I not working with key people? Have I found the right guy or have I not found the right guy? So a key people, one of the core in your business, they don't complain. They're not complainers. That's not part of a key people. They have to rise above complaining, And there's always a way out. There's always something that you can solve problems. Okay, anyway, so what do key people do? They set goals. They attend all the stuff that are bringing, we bring to them. And they follow the system. They not create their own system. Because what would happen if a McDonald's owner were creating his own system? Every owner were creating his own dressing, his own way of doing things. It would be chaos. The same thing here. And where there's chaos, people don't work. Where there's chaos and confusion, people don't work. People don't get it. So it's got to be a easy, understandable system. What do key people do more? Well, they empower themselves and educate themselves. And they do own presentations. And of course, when we have products, the key people use the products and they help other people to use the products. So why am I bringing this up about the system and about you? And while you work in the system, you got to understand that you got to give people a chance. I'm not saying that you're going to stay with those people and work with them and convince them to do business, because we're not in the convincing business. But there's a leader in everyone. So it's kind of a lottery here, because we bring a lot of people into the system and we watch them carefully what they do when we tell them stuff, go to this webinar, or we make a plan for them, an action plan. Do they follow up the action plan? Do they actually do something, or are they just a slacker? But there's a leader in everyone, because everyone was created to lead. And when you create a lot of followers, because you will have a lot of people joining, trapped in, every follower is a leader, because we were created to lead and designed to conquer. We were designed for that. But true leadership is self-discovery. What does it mean? It means that you learn your strengths, but also your disadvantages, and you become humble about your journey. So there's a leader in everyone, and you will see later here why I'm telling you this. And the purpose of education and personal development, the purpose of training the people, learn the system. There's a lot of stuff that this is just a couple of small ideas why we educate and why we need personal development, because we bring a lot of people in. And I told you that we bring a lot of people in, and not everyone has the mindset, but we don't know who are the person they're going to grow. So that's why we need to train everyone. We need to bring everyone to the trainings. We need to give everyone the same chance, because there's a leader in everyone. But the purpose is to help people grow while we're building business, and while people are actually earning money while they're building the business. And they're building the business, they're growing because they're doing something never done before. And something like learn to take a no. That was the hardest thing. I think it's the hardest thing for everyone. But you learn. And in the early beginning, when I started this industry 25 plus years ago, I thought, I was so naive. I thought, this business is so good, people can't say no. It's impossible. And I was so disappointed when people, everyone I was calling was like, no, I won't do that. Or, they said they were going to show up and they didn't show up. And, I was devastated. So we got to learn a lot of stuff, how to solve problems and grow as people. be independent. One thing that's so important that people miss out is that when you are working and you're finding your key people, a real leader, he's self-motivated. He doesn't need any motivation. Well, he needs education all the time because we never stop learning, but he's self-motivated, which means that he had put some goals down. He read in his action plan what he's going to do tomorrow, which excites him or her. A leader is self-motivated. He read and he listen to stuff, so he knows that the energy is there. It's just a matter of doing it. And the purpose of educate people is building a belief system, because that's where all the decisions are made. 95% of all your decisions you don't even make. It's made in your subconscious. That's news for some people. What do you mean? What do you mean? If you haven't been on these webinars, you will get it later, but I can make a short explanation. We have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is like a computer. It's like a hard drive. It gathers information. There's where we go when we make decisions. So someone asks us something or make a statement, and we go into our hard drive and we look, is this true? Can this be done? Or is this possible? So you can imagine if you have people around you in your childhood put in the wrong stuff in your hard drive, and you go there for answers and you make those decisions. Stuff like, oh, that can never be done, or it's impossible to become a millionaire, or the rich people are thieves, or stuff like that. And you're going to make a decision based out of that information, which is in your hard drive. 95% of people's decisions, they can say yes to a business because they have, they get excited, because they want to make money. But then day number 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, they will go to their hard drive and ask for advice. If they don't change their belief system, they will not be successful, because it's the wrong information in the hard drive. It's like using a computer with the wrong program. So actually program. That's why it's called TV program, because they program you with the wrong information. That will not make you successful. News. That's just baloney, BS. So leadership, a leader who's taking this seriously, learning the system, growing as a person, he's independent, self-motivated, building his belief system. There is no end. There's no end. The only what's the word? Well, the only limit is the one you set on yourself. No one can stop you when you're growing. When you're learning that real power behind everything. So now we talked about purpose of a system, why it's important. We talked about you sorting people out through the system. That's how you do it. You sort people out. You don't want to have the negative people in your team. Let them go somewhere else. Then, or they can become customers, of course. Then we sort people out, and through all those people, you will find your key people. And you can have 5, 10, 50, 100, if you're good enough, because like attracts like, you will attract or teach and create great leaders. But still, this business is so simple, because we spend 80% of our time doing the first two. Never forget it. The first look and the business presentation. That's 80% of your time. I talk a lot of education and I promote it. Why do I? Because that's where the power is. In the third step in the system, that's where the power is. But still, we can't do 80% education, because then we will become something else. So we got to do 80% of our business, recruiting, showing the business. And then we get the gold nuggets that we get here and, somewhere else, wherever. You get the gold nuggets that you bring with it, that people never take away from you. That where you acquire here, when you learn and you actually do it, they can never take away from you. But that's the key word: action. Do it, because it's not a theory. Life is not a theory. We're human beings, so you got to be something before you can do something, before you can have something, in that order. So if you have a mindset, core belief system that says free stuff is good, then you think you're going to have something before you do something, before you're are something, you're a being. And that's breaking the laws. That's totally breaking the laws. And it will come back to you. The boomerang will all come back. Okay. Now we get into the real interesting part here. And people are going to think, wow, that was weird. What is he talking about? He thinks he's some kind of doctor or something? No. But listen, you can, when you're interested in something, you can expand. You can expand your goals, your dreams, your knowledge. And I want to show you this. Why action is the key to everything. We have, I told you, you're created for success. Look at this. You have a body. Everyone raise a hand who have a body. Okay, almost everyone. Good. We have a body where the chemicals in our bodies is just there. It's just functioning. If we don't interfere with chemicals and, poison stuff, our body is functioning. We have an immune system which take care of everything. We don't have to put syringes in our arm and stuff like that. That's my opinion. But I mean, we have a perfect immune system which actually works. I'm not going to talk about that now, but I'm just trying to explain to you that you're perfect created. Okay, so we have 4 happiness chemicals in our body: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. And those hormones or chemicals work in our favor. Let's take dopamine. And why am I talking about this? This sounds crazy. It's not crazy. Just stay with me until this is end. So dopamine is released in our body when you're completing a task. Okay? Are you following me now? When you work through the system in our system, when you're completing a task, your body's releasing dopamine. Dopamine is a feel-good chemical in our body that makes us, wow! When we're doing self-care activities, dopamine is released. And when we're celebrating a win, like, yes, I made manager, or I made whatever. Actually, eating food is also releasing dopamine. So that's why people get caught up in eating food. They think that that's the cure for all their problems. And then they're, 200, 400 pounds later, it's a mess. So the key to success is not eating food, but it will release dopamine in your body. You can celebrate with a nice dinner, of course. I'm not saying, but this is science meet the spiritual side of life. Okay, so you can see how this works. If you work in the system will work for you. Have you heard that before? Yeah. So you're created for success. Okay. Look at this dopamine effect. So let's take an example, Lucy here. You sign up a person in the business, and the day one you start making an action plan for that person. You tell that person you're gonna recruit 5 or 10 people. You're gonna bring them to this webinar. You're gonna write down your goals and you put them in the system. Okay. When that person completing a task, dopamine is released. The blood flow, it affects digestion, stress response, sleep, memory and focus, pain processing, insulin regulation. Do people have problems with their insulin? Yes, they do. Motor control. This is not heavy science. This is just an example. What happens when you complete a task? When you take someone through the system and they're completing the task. They're not a slacker who go home and rest on the sofa, do nothing. No release of the dopamine. So, and the dopamine is a feel-good chemical, hormone, whatever in our body. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just doing this because it's fun. Okay. But dopamine gives you a cycle of it's a rewarding cycle. Motivation, reward, and reinforcement. So it's like a positive cycle. You do something, you release dopamine, you feel better, you want to do more. You do something, you release dopamine, you feel better, you want to do something more. So there's other effects. You get focused, you get alert, you get happy, you get motivated. So if this is the case, listen now carefully. We have people all over the world who don't have this knowledge. And this is something you don't do in an afternoon. You do this is a life journey. Personal development you do for life. Only the people who edging God out, and they create such an ego that I don't need to listen to anyone. I'm practically God myself. Yeah, whatever. So you sign someone up. You make an action plan, and they can go 2 ways: take action or no action. So what holds people back? If they see that you have success, if they see your new car, or if see your bank account and see that you make money, what holds them back? Their core belief system. You remember we talked about this? The Maslow? The people who don't take action have a belief system where they're going to stay in the 2 lower levels. That's where they're going to stay. That's where they're going to be buried. And the music is still going to be inside of them. Because I said earlier in this webinar, everyone has a leader inside of them. Fear holds them back. Fear is promoted in this world. Do not be conformed to this world. Fear is a weapon used against the people. Fear is promoted in mainstream media. Fear, 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 fear. And I'm telling you, there's no such thing. Fear is just a ghost inside your head. It doesn't exist. Fear will disappear as soon as you take action. Someone is scared of something, they take action, whoop, fear disappears. So what's the cure? Action. So did you get this webinar today? Did you get it? Everyone is a born leader. There's a leader inside of everyone. We have a system where you're going to find and train those leaders. And some people will get it, some won't. Who cares? Let's just keep on. And how to cure that people don't have results. Well, you can't help anyone who doesn't want to get helped. But we have a system. And again, everyone is a born leader. We have a system. You're going to find the leaders. You're going to train them. And when you train them, you make an action plan. You follow up. And you inspect what you expect of the people that you tell them what to do. And you see, yeah, there's my core people. There's my key people. And you train them to do exactly the same thing. That's duplication. And we bring everyone, of course, on board. Everyone can sign up, but not everyone will do it. You got to just realize that. I mean, I wish that everyone would do it. And then part 2 of this webinar, I'm just, going through it here. Action will create happiness. When you take action, when you help someone take action and they complete a task, what did we say? Dopamine is released. And this is, listen, the one who came up with this must be a super genius. Inside of us, we have a motivational machine that doesn't stop. The only thing that can stop you is yourself. Do you get it now? That's why I'm here every Sunday to tell you this stuff. This is not a game. This is serious stuff. But we're all happy because we can laugh. We don't have to be serious like that, negative serious. So this is a homework for you guys. There's like probably 5,000 to 10,000 people listen now, or even more, because they connect live on YouTube and everywhere, and have their own Zoom meetings and everything. So we're approximately, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000. I don't have no idea. So let's see who wants to release some dopamine, because here is the homework for you. You make a to-do list. It can be, I call it the 6-point list, because that's the way I learned it. And you make the list every day before you go to bed, what to do the next day. And on that list, it's going to be the important stuff. Could be, could be like, I need to wash my car. Okay. Then maybe you have 7 points instead of 6. I need to buy groceries for the kids. So I need stuff like that could be on the list. But most of all, it's got to be, I have to call my key people. I need to help that guy set his goals. I'm going to set up 3 webinars. I'm going to attend the webinar, and so on and so on. So that's the to-do list. And then you take action. And when you do that,